this ministry has three departments. One is called Department of Science and Technology. Another one is called Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, and another one is Department of Biotechnology. Department of Science and Technology mainly deals with the academic level of the development of science and technology, like university level, UGC, CSIR, or NET, whatsoever you are getting as a. Sridhar, please mute all other participants. There is some echoing. Okay, sorry to disturb you. As I am telling that there is three departments in the Ministry of Science and Technology. The Department of Science and Technology basically deals with the academia people, those who are in academic environment, and they are doing innovations and they are doing their research, and how to translate their research to in line with the requirement of the nation or the industry. That type of policy is being framed by the Department of Science and Technology. DBT is mainly for the development of biopharma or biotechnology or the medical related issues. But the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research deals the industry within the nation and the technology transfer among the nations. What type of industry available, it doesn't matter, either it is farming to space technology, all sorts of industry are dealing here with. But at the same time, department also promoted people to do innovation and to do their own startup, innovate, translate your idea into a startup, and then translate your that startup into the entrepreneurships. So department has so many schemes, so many policy to insist or add such types of people to make our developing nation as a developed one. Now coming from the department scenario, I'm letting you a little information on this. As I have told you, this department comes under the niche of Ministry of Science and Technology, which was established in 1971. Earlier, it was clubbed with another ministry, and from the British time, it was in like that. But in 1971, a dedicated ministry was framed in Government of India, and it was the year of 1971. And the very same year, Department of Science and Technology was established. As you people know very well, that after the independence, the requirement of the nation was different. Initially, we are not much prone of the science and technology because at the time of independence, our economic level, our population, our medical infrastructure, our grain productions are minimal. So the initial parameter is to feed the people. So in the first and second 5-year plan, you must have aware that the most focus was on the agriculture side. So in that scenario, you have seen that a lot of industry was set up for the promotion of agriculture, like fertilizer industry was set up in the first and second planning year, and they are dedicated to that. As the society prospers, the slowly and slowly demand grows, people knowledge taking capability grow, and their innovation capability grow. So there is a requirement of a one dedicated department for science and technology, and in 1971 the Department of Science and Technology was established. And after that, as it was found that the Department of Science and Technology initially mainly confined with the academic people, so slowly and slowly industry culture developed in the nation, and there is a specific requirement from the dedicated industry group people that they should get attentions in the government. So in 1985, Department of Science and Industrial Research was developed. Then again bifurcating of Department of Science and Technology itself, and then in again 1986, one other dedicated Department of Biotechnology was established. The overall budget scenario of the Ministry of Science and Technology is more than $12 billion, and it is very huge amount. This is a public funded amount, so there is a lot of regulation and check guard. The people may think that why government do such types of restrictions in funding of this types of activity or scholarship or innovative. The problem is that it is a public money which will be contribute to our nation by the way of various types of taxes, and that's why this money is being accounted, is being audited by the CAG, and time to time a proper report were given, and if there is some malfunctioning, the proper action were also taken to the people of the disorder departments. Okay, now coming to the mandate of the department, as I have said you, this department basically deal with the industrial research and development. Now the question arises, why we do use to have a research? The research give not only the prosperity but also give us an opportunity to generate revenue by the long term development and capital investment type of technology. The research mainly deal with the exploration, description of the idea, then explanation and applications. And the area of research is basic research, applied research and development research. As I have told you, basic research is mainly the academia people who used to do, and the applied research be people, be the entrepreneur and be the engineers or be the growing startup people who used to take out the basic research in the application oriented scenario. The basic difference between the general graduate and engineers is only that the big engineers are the applied in nature. That's why we are called more application oriented academician, and the basic people are, they are just going through the theoretical. So the basic research is done by the academician, applied research is done by the professional, and the development research is the combination of both to generate some models and to develop some devices for the betterment of the society and to cater the need of the society. So keeping all these points in the mind, the department mandate is promotion of industrial research for the indigenous technology and the development of that indigenous technology for the utilization and transferring and the harmony of the society. Suppose right now the society is their need of ventilator, N95 mask, PP kit, ban vaccine for the pandemic COVID-19, and we people are busy in doing research in 5G and 6G that is not useful for the society. So this type of output will not be accepted by the society. So the industrial research should be in synchronization with the society needs. So these types of research is being promoted from time to time depending upon the need of the society and the demand of the society, and accordingly we the people sitting in the department used to frame the various policy and various mandates. Now coming about the department and department component, in just few minutes I would like to highlight you about the department. The half portion of the department is the establishment type of things like administration, finance and other things. The one half is basically deals with the various dynamic activity of the department, the various schemes, then the autonomous institutions coming under this organization, and then some public sector units which are coming under this department. Coming to the public sector enterprises, there is two public sector enterprises in working under this department. One is NRDC, established in 1953. The main motto of NRDC is to develop, to patent, and to indigenization and the entrepreneurships of the know-how or innovation done by individuals. Some individuals are not capable of translating their know-how into the entrepreneurships or not able to marketability of their innovations, then the NRDC play role. Yesterday I received a call from one of the gentlemen that I have developed this type of prototype in the solar segment, and I'm not able to know how to manufacture my product on commercial level. Of course, for the development of entrepreneur industry department or this PSC is not going to help you, but yes, NRDC is going to help you by way of transfer of technology. Suppose you have developed some prototype or model and it is successful, you please contact with this NRDC department. NRDC with MOU and with agreement, they acquire your technology, and by their business module, they translate it into the industry segment. If it is up to the mark, industry people will take your technology, start their production, and accordingly you will get revenue as per the production of the entity. Now NRDC is the National Research Development Corporation, and this basically deal with the patent technology transfer from the individuals, innovator and a startup. And they have a lot of unit in different area of the nation, like in Bangalore, Hyderabad and other region also. NRDC has its establishment where people may directly contact either for the patent filing or to hand over its own technology to commercialize their indigenous technology. Then one of the PSU is Central Electronics Limited, established in 1974. Its basic aim is to nurture out the nation demand of electronics equipments and electronics devices initially. But later on, there is so many industry grown up. There is so many private industry which far better than the CEL in producing electronics items and goods. Accordingly, the CL diversified their business program and their vision and mission. Then now CL is dynamically working in defense and solar segment. They have plenty of solar equipment and very nice and highly efficient pattern of grid of solar auto e-rickshaw and cycle and other thing is also based on their solar cell and solar electric based circuit. They have designed, developed, demonstrated with the help of IIT and other institutions, and they marketed all these devices. In defense sector, they have produces very big crucial equipments and crucial apparatus for the nation. We have recently heard Balakot strike. In Balakot strike, the missile contains a special barrel, and that barrel were developed by the CEL. And you will be surprised to know that in CEL, most of the work is being done either manually or partially automated. Like in case of electronic segment, it is automated. In case of photovoltaic or solar segment, both manual as well as automated version is going on, and people are highly qualified, highly expert in their profession. Now coming to the autonomous institutions, there is two types of autonomous institution. One is CSIR, that was before the independence of the nation, and it is going on from since 1942. Right now there is 43 CSIR laboratory in the nation who are basically doing various types of research. And in previous segment I have narrated about NRDC. NRDC was basically built up initially to commercialize the technology developed by the CSIR. CSIR people are the innovator or the researcher. They generate in their lab their concept into idea and the prototype and model, and that technology being was commercialized by the NRDC. But slowly NRDC also diversified their field. CSIR also diversified their field, and now they have dedicated CSIR also now one of the dedicated center for the commercialization of their technology. So NRDC accordingly diversified itself. And there is another autonomous institution called CDC, established in 1986, just before the liberalization era. In 1986, CDC was basically early instituted with the concept of development of consultancy culture in the nation. Initially, there was no consultancy culture in the nation. Now, right now, we are seeing consultancy in various fields. Either it is in academia, either it is in technology, either it is in various industry, or the policy framing, or the medical. A lot of consultant and consultancy organization is going on, and this culture is being was developed by the CDC. Now there is another one institutions that is working under the niche of DSIR, that is APCTT, that is Asia Pacific Trans Communication and Technology Transfer, established in 1977 with a huge budget of approx 0.9 million dollar, with millennium development goals, sustainable development goals of the UN. And this organization basically deals with the technology transfer among the various nations of the Asia Pacific region, like Bhutan, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, or whatsoever nation in these regions. There is whatsoever technology transfer or the know-how transfer is being dealt with this nation. These institutions play a role from the government of India. And So B people are either making some industry technology to the transfer to them, or some technology acquisition of by them industry. So through the APCTT, B people are adopting or transferring our various technology to these people. Now coming to the various schemes running by these departments, the here is the glimpse of various schemes, and later on we will describe one by one various schemes and who are eligible for these schemes. So please go through one by one. One is the access to knowledge, or it is basically deal by the uh, it is basically deal by the government of India to get various events and study to frame their policy. Then another one is for the startup, MSME, and the innovator, that is BIRD CRF in short, and in its full name is Building Industrial R&D and Common Research Facility Center. Then another one is PACE, Patent Acquisitions and Collaborative Research and Technology Development. Then another one is PRISM. It is very good schemes for the those who are engineers or researchers, or they are in a phase of shaping their future. Slowly we will go in detail. Then another one is IRDPP, that is Industrial R&D Promotion Program. Another one is in-house R&D. This is basically for the industry, those industry who are producing in India something, and they wish to have some export and technology transfer from the foreign. Then for them it is play as a role of you may say the facilitator. Without the certification of this department, the industry cannot do such types of things. Then again there is CSIRO, Scientific and Industrial Research Organization, for the academician mostly, or the researcher who are in the academician form. Then another one is fiscal incentive for scientific research. In short, it is called FI. The budget of this scheme is more than 50,000 crore, and it is being facilitated by this department, not directly but indirectly. This scheme say first you do innovations, first you do your R&D, and then get benefit from the government of India. The another one is dedicated to the women of the nation, that is technology development and utilization program for women, TDUPW. And you will be surprised to know that initially in India, whatever the industry available and their automation, this department play a very niche role. Initially, what type of upgradation, what type of technology to be adopted by the industry is being planned, framed, and advised by this department. Right now there are so many experts, and another one dedicated ministry is also now providing their facility to the industry. So now the role of this department on the IT segment is reduced, but in beginning, that is 70, 80 onwards, the automation is being dealt by this department only. Now coming to the various scheme one by one, and letting you know what in these schemes are. This scheme is basically for the academician, industrialist, and assist them or to develop a culture within the nation to have an innovation based or R&D based this environment where people sumoto get activated to do the research to suit out the requirement of the industry or the demand of the society. And this scheme assist to translate the innovation for the betterment of the society by creating scientific ethos and correlation between academia and industry. This scheme has subsection, one was RDI, another one was FI, another one was CSIRO. These schemes provide facilitating and to help them by funding also to develop the own technology based nation and the in-house or Atmanirbhar Bharat, make in India, make up India, startup India type of policy. The main objective of this IRDPP RDI scheme is that to have our own infrastructure within the industry, to have our own laboratory, and the laboratory available in various institutions are capable of doing all type of activities or innovation whatsoever required for the industries. And the scheme says that the industry or the science or the academic institutions should have dedicated manpower, dedicated infrastructure, dedicated their training center, dedicated facilities, and dedicated people to work in that industry or laboratory to help them to shape innovation based society or to generate innovation concept or innovation ideology among the students, upcoming students. This scheme provide national level recognition to the company who are dealing in the R&D, in indigenous R&D, and producing some products based on their indigenous R&D, apart from the service sector and the computer sector. In computer sector also, that is IT sector also, if there is some R&D, B people are there. By you know that NABL approved lab, NABL approved pathology center, NABL hospital. Similarly, for the industry, there is DSIR recognized industry also, or DSIR recognized R&D center. This certification gives industry a capability or to the international market a recognition that yes, this industry is being recognized by the government of India, so this credibility, its genuinity is up to the mark. So by applying the industry either in the any field, either in CD manufacturing, hardcore manufacturing, digital manufacturing, solar, space, IT, pharmaceutical, biotechnology, whatsoever in the field, the company used to approach us for getting the recognition. And right now more than 4,000 companies are there who are registered with us and getting recognition, and they are being facilitated for the export and procurement of their capital and R&D related equipments by the way of tax holiday. If an industry is being recognized by this department, the industry get tax holiday on their expenditure or their import, while they exporting based on the various treaty among the nation, they get benefit also on the various custom and excise duty. Now the industry must be engaged either in the seed agriculture, solid waste disposal, IT, biotech, space, etc. But it should not be listed in 11th schedule of article of commerce and industry. Commerce and industry has mentioned that framed in a schedule 11, in which some negative list of items are listed, and the industry who are engaged in that field, like tobacco, cigarette, like these types of industry, they are not being benefited in this schemes. Once a company is being recognized by this department, then the R&D expenditure occurred by that industry will be supported by the department in this scheme called IRDPP-FI. Suppose an industry invest 100 rupees in their R&D and their indigenous technology development, indigenous technology upgradations, or to upgrade their production with improved quality of product, then that expenditure is being claimed by that industry for the benefit from the government of India, and that technology upgradation is being assessed by B people, and based on our assessment and based on our evaluations, these industries get more than 150% of the benefit. As I told you, suppose an industry make an expenditure of 100 rupees for the R&D, government give them 150 rupees. Once their R&D is being certified that yes, their activity is purely R&D based, then this organization get 150 rupees. So you can see that how they are benefited on expenditure of 100 rupees, they are getting more 1.5 times of benefit. So this types of fiscal incentive motivate industry people to generate R&D or indigenous R&D or indigenous product development. And due this, in the last 10 years, we have seen that almost all, either in government sector or PSU or private entity, they started doing their own R&D. So culture of research and development has been generated. So if your friend are working in any of the PSU, you just ask them. Before 10 years there was no R&D in this PSU, but now every PSU has their own R&D to cater all these benefits of the government and to deliver the society requirements. This R&D scheme is basically deal with the industry, MSME, and a startup also. And the tax benefit or the 150% of the expenditure benefit on the income on their R&D innovations expenditure is being certified by income tax department under the scheme of 35(2)A, 35(2)AB, and apart from the custom and GST relief. 35(2)AA is basically coming under the CSR, you may say that CSR type of activity. Suppose some industry is going on and they do donation to some academia or some researcher or some government approved laboratory to do innovations, then they get 150% of the benefit, like we people used to do in personal income tax. Some Prime Minister relief fund or ATG, when we invest in ATG we get 100% tax rebate. Similarly, if the industry do donation to some research institute or to the laboratory, then they receive benefit under 35(2)AA, and that benefit is 150%. So the department just motivating industries to develop a culture of innovations and research. Accordingly, the industry who set up based on the indigenous technology or indigenous R&D, those industries may claim their depreciation amount or may claim their expenditure of establishment of entrepreneurships under the clause of 5(2) of the IT Act. And within this, one of the best example we can see that Octamax BS6 level of BS6 level of automobile industry is now in India has been imposed, and based on that, IOCL established one of the production unit at Mathura unit, that is called Octamax, and they have established their manufacturing based on their indigenous technology. Their R&D is in Faridabad. Based on that, they have developed a production unit in Mathura, and they claimed their expenditure under this scheme of 5(2). Only the difference is that you will not receive the whole sum amount in one go. It is being distributed to the manufacturer or the entrepreneur based on the depreciation analysis by the certified statutory engineers or auditors. You already I have informed you that for this type of a scheme like the FI scheme, the department is the nodal department, and any type of industry, those who wish to get benefited from the government of India have to come and to submit with various documentation with the department. We people assess their activity by physical visit or by the expert domain, and then accordingly we generate a report and submit it to the income tax department. Now coming to the academia and laboratory level of in-house research and development program, it is CSIRO and PFRI. The major difference between CSIRO and PFRI is that CSIRO may be any type of trust, any type of society, NGO, or any type of institutions, but PFRI is public funded research institutions. Public funded means where government share is more than 50%. This types of a scheme provide them 100% benefit apart from the tax benefit. Suppose any academic institution or a registered society or registered trust wish to do some academician or research type of activity. Most of the engineering colleges and medical colleges established in the south are being run either by some rituals or society or by some like Mandir Trust or by some politician by way of society, and they are availing benefit of their their income tax benefit by the way of CSIRO and PFRI. They get their institution got registered with us, and on the basis of this registration they receive tax benefit whatsoever they procure for their laboratory and the expenditure, capital expenditure whatsoever they occurred on that, they receive various benefit against this department. While PFRI, for the public funded research institutions where government stake is more than 50%, the people who are in these entity, they also got benefit on their capital infrastructure and the taxation by this scheme. Now most of the people are interested on the second part of our presentation, that is the why we should do innovations, and I have some innovative idea, then how I translate it into the model and how I commercialize this. So for these types of idea, now there is government schemes for them also, and these schemes are mainly for what type of people? These schemes are the for the them who wish to translate their idea as a techno entrepreneurships, that the people who have innovative idea may come to us to get their idea translated into the model by the way of Prism support. And once they get their idea got successful, they may get another Prism support for product development, and in integrity all these entity will be integrated as a as an entrepreneurship to start some small level industry, or to some entrepreneurship on a big scale. Or if somebody is not interested in that, you will get some network or linkages at this platform from where you will receive support, or the industry people will come to you itself and take your innovative idea, take your patent or copyright, and by the agreement, mutual agreement, they may start producing the product based on the development. Now coming to the Prisma scheme, the full form of this scheme is promoting innovations in individuals, startups, and MSME. As its name itself indicates, promoting innovation in individuals. Individuals means any person, any citizen of this nation without any educational eligibility. A farmer can also have some innovations. A daily wages worker may have some also innovative ideas. Startups, those who after attaining a good sound knowledge in their expertise field and wish to have some own company, some own entity in the way of a startup, they can also come. Incubator, those who are in various institutions who like IIT and IICR, they are they are studying there, and they have some good concept there, and they wish to set up their some startup after the education, they may get benefit from here. And the MSMEs, MSME, macro small medium enterprises, those who are working in this field and they have some issue, they are MSME of the nation are lacking due to technology. They have no such innovative technology, and they have no capability to procure such high cost based technology, so they are suffering. So government frame a policy to assist them by shooting out their problem with the indigenous technology, indigenous know-how, and at a minimal cost. So government drafted this scheme to help each and every entity at a ground level. This scheme mainly support innovator, those who have original idea, and those idea can be converted into working model, prototype, and this idea is not a replica of any other idea who is available in the nation. Once a people have such idea, they have to submit the proposal to the department, and that proposal is being assessed, and whether it is assessed that whether this type of model, or this type of innovation, or this type of technology, this type of concept is available anywhere in the nation, or it is available in abroad or not. If it is available, what are the differences among that process or that model, and what is the difference in this model? If there is some difference, it will be assisted. If no, then you will be intimated, or the innovator will be innovated that this is not a new, so it cannot be considered. And the level of scrutiny is of very high level. A lot of expert of the concerned field are there who scrutinize all the level by the way of cross questioning or by personal interaction in the way of presentation or the other things. Now question arises, who are eligible to receive these benefits? It is very clear that any citizen of the nation without having any academic certification, they are eligible. The only condition is that their innovation should not be doubly funded. That is, you take money from government of India under this scheme, and again you receive loan from another entity of the financial institutions. That is not allowed in this scheme. So you have to give one undertaking, and the national the organization working in the field of national autonomous organization, registered society, trust, any statue involved in the innovation activity, entrepreneur, MSME, any lab, or any infrastructure who are working for the innovations, they can receive their fund from this scheme. Now, the to make ability of this scheme to pan India and to make accessibility of the citizen of these nations, we have developed 13 gateway for this scheme, that is called TOCIC, that is a Technology Entrepreneurship Program Outreach Cum Cluster Innovation Center, and we have established it in the pan India to have better coordination and accessibility penetration in the society. And you will be surprised to know that there is more than 42 entrepreneurship has been started within last 3 years, and these innovation from the help of this scheme. I am giving you one or two example of industry which has been developed by the help of this scheme. One is Auto Robot Private Limited. Now it has been established their branches in USA also, and another one is Jekin Industries Private Limited. Both of these organizations is from the Eastern India, that is from the West Bengal and Assam, and their TOCIC was IIT Kharagpur. This scheme facilitate by way of their detailed performa available on the website. Any person who are eligible or who wish to submit their proposal, time to time these TOCIC or the department advertise call of proposals. Once the proposals were submitted to these departments, these departments or the TOCIC center, the TOCIC center evaluated these proposals, and sometimes the academic institutions or the students have no much idea of how to write the proposal. So this TOCIC center will facilitate them to write proposals and how to do their innovations and how to shape their proposals. Such types of assistance were received by this TOCIC center. Also, your proposals should be endorsed by two of the subject domain expert. Suppose a farmer who is doing to know the subject domain expert and how to get endorsement from two people. So this center assists you to by providing you the name, address, and genuinity of the subject domain expert, and by helping you to get endorsement of two experts from there. And once TOCIC submit this proposal to the department scrutiny its own level, then again it was scrutinized by the PRISM advisory screening committee, which is framed on the national level depending upon the technology base area and the innovations. And this scheme is mainly dedicated in the field of green technology, clean energy, smart industrial material, affordable healthcare, best management, and water, sewage, and other field in which India is lagging. So these field proposal from these field will be given priority to over other field of the proposal. It is not restricted to only these fields, but yes, if your proposal is related to clean energy or like solar, like e-vehicle, hydrocarbon carbon based fuel system, then obviously your proposal will be considered on fast pace rather than the conventional proposals. And suppose some proposal were accepted and they were funded, and later on, due some odd circumstances or due some unwillingness that money is now in my hand, we should not do the much effort on this proposal. Then the government, since it is a public funded money, so government has put up a penalty clause also, that is 12% of interest rate you have to pay if such things happen. Now this scheme has two subcategory, and each subcategory has to by subcategory. Then first of all, you must have idea about where this QRCIC center is established. That is the TPP Outreach Center. That is it is established in Bangalore. CSIR lab, that is NAL. Then CSIR lab Chandigarh. It is very excellent in the field of manufacturing, hardcore manufacturing. And NAL Bangalore is also dedicated to defense and air related, air force related equipment based issue. Then again there is a University of Madras, Chennai. Then Simeri, Durgapur, you have known, very known to these institutions. This is CSI laboratory in the field of mechanical. Then there is GSBTM Chandigarh, Gandhinagar. Then Guntur, Andhra University, Guntur.
Acharya Nagarjuna University.
Sorry, Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur. Then IIT Guwahati, Jorhat, Kharagpur, Kanpur, Kolkata, Tirupati, and Udaipur. Suppose you develop some prototype by the assistance of Prism scheme or TOCIC assistance, and your model got successful. Now you have to commercialize these models. It happens that you have no much idea how to commercialize, how to make your model on the production level. Suppose a self-help group or NGO type of people are there, and they do some innovation and they wish to commercialize. They have no idea. Then these TOIC center have a good relation with the industry people. Once you successfully completed your model, it will be demonstrated among the industry people, where a lot of concerned field in industry used to visit and used to have a good correlation with these centers. They know, and when they aware about your development, about your model, they wish to adopt your technology by the way of patent or by the way of copyrights. So this center also facilitate the innovator to commercialize your products. So now question arises, if you have done some innovation without the help of print, then what can you do? Then also you can get assistance of these organizations. But these organizations not only limited for this scheme. Government has established these initially these centers were more, but due to the lack of response from certain area, this center has been reduced. This center is basically financed by and added by the department, and this center not only doing department activity. Apart from department activity, they have good correlation with other research funding institutions or research type of activity, from where they are also getting fund and facility. They are also conducting a lot of activity apart from my department, like IIT Kanpur. IIT Kanpur does not need only department support. They have its own innovation, and they have its own funding scheme. So such types of industry interactions, the people innovated, the innovator or the researcher get, and their model got commercialized in due course, in hand to hand. In West Bengal, we have seen that there is one innovator who have developed how to manure and how to cut henna crops, henna leaves. They demonstrated, and through the help of CGCRI Kolkata, it gets into commercialized, and now they are receiving a good handsome royalty without doing much effort in this field. Now, as I have told you, this scheme has two category, and within that there is another subcategory. This first is dedicated for the individual whose concept is not only proof of concept, should not be proof of concepts. It is, if it is only for a study purpose, then also it will be funded, but the condition is that It should not be done by any other people in the world anywhere initially. Suppose you have to do literature survey, and literature survey to help the industry, and the literature survey consists of some uh, segment that it will help industry people to disseminate the available technology or available know-how. Then it will be funded. The maximum cost of this scheme, or the eligibility for this scheme, is 5 lakh, out of which 2 lakh or 90% of the approved project cost will be supported by this department. Suppose in manufacturing industry, some automation work is to be done, and where you needed to have a survey, have to do a survey, and that survey may go beyond that 5 lakh, may go beyond that. Then also you get this 2 lakh from the department, and rest of the amount is being funded indirectly by the industry, for who are going to avail the benefit of your study report or literature survey. This scheme is not in the field of software industry or the service sector. This scheme is also not for those who are in entrepreneurship or in a startup and wish to do there some additional innovation. Then they are also not eligible in this scheme. And you have to get at least two recommendation from the domain knowledge expert, that yes, whatever your idea is, that is genuine, and that is not being done by anyone in this nation or in this world, and it will definitely assist the industry. Then this recommendation just is to reduce the department workload, because based on that, we people get initial level of screening, and majority of false claim is being reduced at this level. And you have, if some people is working in somewhere else, if somebody is studying, doing a PhD or doing something, then they have to give NOC. Or some people who is working in any organization and wish to do some innovation, then they have to give NOC. Suppose right now I'm just giving one example. One person is in braille lipi field, they are doing their innovation, and at the same time they are working in the similar organization located in Kanpur, MP, in the similar organization located in Kanpur, who develop devices for the Divyang people, and they are working in this field. So we people just ask them to submit NOC from their organization, so that no duplicacy or no conflict arises in the future. The second type of scheme is that it is also for the individual, those who have do literature survey and now wish to do, certify their literature survey on the experimental basis. That is to develop their model and know-how by testing in the lab, or by doing trial in the lab, or by technology, or they wish to transfer their innovation by the another academia on higher level. Then they can also get assistance under this scheme of this category. And here the cost value of the project should be 5 to 35 lakh, and maximum assistance is limited to 20 lakh only. In this scheme, the another restrictions has been imposed by the department, that is the travel and manpower cost limitation, and it should be, travel cost should be within the 5%, and manpower cost should be within 20%. The manpower cost should not include the consultancy, or should not include the outsource activities. Whatsoever you have to do, you have to do in your lab by the help of the establishment of the lab, or whatever equipment if you wish to purchase. If there is any requirement that you wish to purchase some equipment, then also you will not get assistance for the purchase of this equipment. But yes, you will inform that you may visit this laboratory to get your product development, or to get your process requirement or the devices to be manufactured. The methodology assistance will be provided. But yes, for the as it is individual innovator, and you have to only verify model, you have not to institute any industry, so the capital expenditure is being not supported here. But yes, you will be facilitated. Suppose a person who is being doing this project under the TOCIC, Kanpur, Kharagpur, or Bangalore, if you have some requirement of facility, then you may go to CSIR lab of Bangalore or the IIT Kanpur or IIT Kharagpur directly, and you do your experiment, or you develop your prototype there by the help of the Kanpur expertise, and on minimal pay of utilities like electricity or the consumables, whatever you have, you will get assistance on that. Okay, now coming to the second category of this scheme, that is phase 2, category 1. This is mainly for the development of prototype and commercialization of prototype. Those who are not covered till date in this scheme before phase 1 and phase 1 category 1 and 2, they are also eligible. Suppose you have do your proof of concepts and model development somewhere else, and now you wish to have established some MSME or to commercialize your concept, and you wish some funding to make it as a major label, or to translate it for the MSME label, then also you get assistance under this subcategory. The maximum limit of this scheme should be 35 to 100 lakh. The project cost should be 35 to 100 lakh, and the assistance is limited to 50 lakh. Rest of the fund you have to arrange because you are going to commercialize or you are going to sell it to the MSME. This subcategory is basically framed by keeping in the mind of MSME and SME sector. They in their clusters, they have a lot of issue. MSME or SME cluster, suppose in Jamshedpur there is a automobile cluster in Gamaria region. This automobile industry need a lot of innovations and support technical upgradation. So the innovator who either in the industry, academician, or anyone who visited these cluster and get feedback what type of innovation they should do and what are their issues, and based on that they develop their innovations, and based on that they develop their R&D model, and they once the successful of this their development model, these MSME or SME will procure them, and 50% cap has been restricted here due this only because the MSME or the SME who are going who are getting benefit from these innovations are also liable to pay partial, and that's why this has been kept as 50%. Here also some statutory restrictions has been kept by the department, and in this category, if your proposal is so lucrative, you will be called by the department to come in front of the PRISM advisory screening committee, which is framed at national level, in which subject domain experts are there, and time to time they assess your development. So you have to visit department and to answer the various cross questioning of the expert, as well as you may have to give presentation how it is going to change the scenario of society or MSME sector. Further subcategory is also mainly aim to focus on MSME segments or the cluster located in various regions of the nation. In Hyderabad, there is handloom based clusters, and they are facing a lot of issues. They approach to many academicians or many renowned laboratories, and from there some people are ready to go through their problem and resolve. In that very case, this department fund the researcher 50% of amount of that, or maximum cap of 50 lakh, and the rest amount again is being borne by the MSME clusters directly or indirectly. Okay, now this is all about the PRISM schemes, and this scheme is basically very dynamic in the field of academicians and the person who are getting education, either doing PhD or MTech or MSc, and after that they are developing they have some idea and they wish to develop some innovations into the model. They are coming for this scheme, and in the last 4 years we have received a lot of proposals, and we have assessed these proposals. We have funded crores of money to these innovators, and based on that till now more than 114 entrepreneurs or startups or incubator has been developed by this department, and this scenario is changing the economic or industrial scenario of the nation, environment of the nation. In this pandemic also we funded under this scheme N95 mask. There are 5 people who come with different ideas and we funded them. They develop N95 mask in due course, and you will be surprised to know that their mask materials is being also indigenously developed, and not only indigenously developed, the life and the accuracy of their mask and the preventive measure, that is the capability to kill the germs and virus, is higher than the all available mask in the nation, and it has been certified by the ICMR also. We people funded BHEL, Bharat Dynamics, DEL to develop PPE kit. Their qualified researcher approach to us that we wish to develop a PPE kit, dedicated PPE kit, or a dedicated ventilator for this pandemic. And after going through their proposal, we have funded. Now coming to the another type of schemes that is also dealing with the innovator, but those innovator who have only ideas and no infrastructure support, no financial support, then such types of innovators, there is also one scheme to assist them, and this scheme is also one of the beautiful schemes governed by the department, and this scheme is also based on the gateway, and that gateway is not like that in the prism. This gateway is acting as a facilitator. Now I coming to this scheme. The name of this scheme is very clear, that building industrial research and development and common research facilities, that is BIRD CRF scheme. This scheme selected various industrial hub or cluster of the nation, and time to time, by the way of advertisement or by the way of persuasion or by the way of discussion, asked various cluster to come forward and take the department financial assistance and establish a world-class facilities of a diversified field, where people from electronics, people from electrical, IT, mechanical, computer, or biotechnology, or pharma, or any field may come and do their work by minimum payment basis, and do their innovations. They go there, validate there, they develop their prototype or model there by minimum payment, and if the model is successful, this model will be commercialized, this model will be patented by the innovator. But the industry who used to visit these center to take away these models or to commercialize these models will also fund you. So such types of scheme is here, in which department has identified a lot of regions on subject domain basis, and based on that these hubs were developed. Some of these hubs are CCMB Hyderabad, then IHBT Palampur. These two centers are for dedicated for affordable healthcare infrastructure. Then NIST Thiruvananthapuram for environmental innovations. Then CMRI Durgapur, low cost machining. You will know about CMRI Durgapur lab, that is dedicated for mechanical engineering, and a very world class infrastructure is there. And people who have idea or who wish to convert their idea into some model, they visit these centers by minimal payment, and that payment is also we can say for B people it is a pocket money. That type of payment basis, the innovator may visit there, and by the resources of this institution, they convert their idea into a live model. And further coming to the another center, Siri Pilani for electronics and renewable energy, IIT Roorkee for new materials, then IIT Gandhinagar if it is related to the chemical process. Then there is again environmental intervention, that is at IIT at Lucknow. These 12 centers has been developed by the department. Time to time, for this development of center there is advertisement. Still there is one advertisement for development of this common research facilities development. Those who wish, they may submit their proposal, and by assessing these proposals, department used to fund them, and based on that you may develop your facility center. And this center is being again publicized, advertised by the department, where innovator can come and do their work, receive their fund, and convert their model. And various exhibitions, you have heard many times that in IIT some exhibitions is going on, where innovations is being projected. These types of innovation exhibitions is being organized by this center, and we people are there to fund them. In this type of facilities, individual innovators, startups, SME, self-help group can come and develop their model. And this center is also disseminating technology either by way of training, workshop, and various courses. Suppose you do not belong either from Prism scheme or this scheme, and still you wish to commercialize your model, then you may visit there, and by interactions, the person who are working there will, if they satisfy that yes, your model is up to the certain extent and there is some beauty in your model will be commercialized by the help of these people, because they have good relation with the industry people, and time to time exhibition is being organized by them. Also, suppose you have developed your model, but you wish to develop your to acknowledge your model on the national level, then may you avail this facility and make another prototype on this facility, either by way of Prism or by the way of this scheme. There is another one good scheme, that is the patent acquisition and collaborative research and technology development. Here the main purpose of this scheme is to develop a good correlation between the academia and the industry. However, the department has started funding 100% of against this scheme by the way of imprint, in which the concerned department used to fund 50% and rest funding is done by this department. This department has three category. One is the academician. Whatever the expenditure incurred on the research by academician, that will be 100% funded. But if there is a loan MSME sector or industry, that will be funded 50%. And if there is a joint venture between the academician and industrialist, then it is 50-50. The portion which is being carried out by the academician, that will be funded 100%, or the person who are doing some innovation in either enrolled in PhD or PG courses, they also 50% fund will be available, and the rest 50% will be either by the different ministry or by this cluster, by the industry who collaborated with you, will be born these 50% scheme. Now there is another one scheme that is highly dedicated for the women, and the basic aim of this scheme is to disseminate and to capable the women, to make them technology prone, and to develop various MSME and self-help groups based on the women empowerment. You have heard there is so many self NGO or self-help groups women were called in KBC for were called in KBC to demonstrate, disseminate their model, which is successfully running in the nation. The like Spickle's auntie. Spickle's auntie is being funded by the department, and their model is highly appreciable, and they got a good response from the nation, and now it is commercialized. Also, there is a harvesting pattern or irrigation pattern is being developed by one of the farmer. That model is also being converted. That is she is also one of the women, and from Kerala, and their model is also now it is being converted into this schemes, and they got 100% benefit from this scheme. Women are mainly involved in horticulture, mushroom cultivation, henna, fisheries, pottery, and milk segment. So this scheme is targeted mainly these type of organizations where women are mainly working. Now there is another one, that is access to knowledge for technology development and dissemination. In short, we used to call it A2K plus. This scheme is basically what should be the government policy, what should be the government scheme in the coming future. Whether we are now seeing that academia and industry relationship in the nation, that is being assisted by this scheme. This scheme mainly deal with the government various study report which government policy should be, what should be the forecast for the coming 10 years or 20 years. That type of study is being carried out by the government under this scheme by the help of CII, PhD chambers, and various renowned institutions in this field. Also, apart from that, dissemination of the technology and the very in the way of seminar, workshop, conference, this scheme also used to do fund to them. These all are about their various schemes of the departments, and I'm very thankful to Sridhar that they have he arranged such a beautiful platform for me to disseminate about these departments. Now I think you have got receive a little glimpse about the government schemes. This is only about the DSIR. If you wish more, then you may please visit the website where you will get a lot of schemes and detail about that schemes. And apart from this, if you wish further to get various type of support, then you may visit DST website, DBT website, where you will get the subject specific plan or schemes which will help to start your support. In DST there is one Nidhi is also dedicated for the innovator, those who are doing PhD or PG level innovations. They wish to commercialize their project, then they got support from Nidhi. Also there is TEB, Technology Entrepreneur Board. They assist to commercialize or develop entrepreneurship. But yes, it is not in the way of grant, it is in the way of loan, it is way of in the funding. You have to pay back with certain schedule of time. There is also DBT also assist from the pharmaceutical or biotechnology segment sector to establish your entrepreneurships by way of loan. In DSIR we mainly deal with the grant, be in segment of loan only for those who are industry, but for those who are academician or the researcher, pure researcher, we deal in the form of grant. This is
Right.
all about our department or the various scheme of the organization. Now the people, if there is any query, you are free to ask. I
Yeah.
will try.
Good, Purushottam. I think it's a wonderful session because in the last 1 hour, 10 minutes, okay. So the main thing is we got to know that what and all your organization is doing and how it is actually benefiting to the people. More of a glimpse we got, and fundamentally this is what required in these times, because I would say in the last a few months I'm thinking the technology is available, but we don't know that the technology is available. See, that is the issue going on nowadays. I would say like technology is much ahead than our imagination. So that is what the stage we are. Like this, we
Yes, yes.
have the system, we have some departments, ministries are rigorously working, and some are actually reaching and some are getting benefit. I mean, people who have awareness. Fundamentally, the main drawback is getting the awareness. The awareness is not there. So there is one Mr. Ravi Shankar ji is asking, he just put it in the chat box. You can, if you get a chance. Otherwise, I'll just read through.
Yeah,
It
please read.
it might be a good idea to bring all the offerings and links under a single screen, much like a single window offering. Better still is to offer an online site and downloadable app, while suggest the options available if the user gives the basic details. Later, as more details are given, the app or should site should make suggestions and user could take or leave. This way the schemes would get exposure and the people will be available to take good advantage of the various schemes available. Rightly said. I mean, his intent is, why can't we make a single window kind of a thing, rather having too many departments and too many clusters. There are like DSIR and CSIR, and we have different bodies here. So what do you say?
Look, Sridhar, he is very true from his perspective, and government is also on right platform with its vision and broad perspectives. The various department or ministry is being framed based on the nation requirements and their expertise in the dealing that type of business. As I have told you that initially there was only one department, DST, in 1971, and who used to take care of all type of science and technology related activity. Later on, the demand of this department grown up and expertise required. The people coming from the academician, the people coming from the field of research, the people coming from the field of industry, all people rushing to this department, DST. And DST initially was framed to develop academic culture of science-based academic culture. So initially, what happened? The expertise in the DST was for the academician. They are not much aware about the industry. So industry people are not able to get their solution on up to that scale. So they people demanded from the government that why not should be there a dedicated department for the industry. So government bifurcated the department and made one dedicated department for the industry. Further, in the field of biotechnology, they again similarly raised their voice. So government dedicated one department for them. This this bifurcation or this many platform help the various types of innovator or industries in the to receive a dedicated and the best solution in the way of expertise instead of getting a generalized idea. He he i think the person who is asking maybe in the academic level or just pass out from the academic level, so he is from both side. His base is a little bit from
Yeah,
the academic and a little bit industry, but
that's
these
true.
departments are
From
dedicated for the industry segments.
from your side, right, correctly, as you are in the government bodies structure of executing the things. So as a, as a person at the ground level who is just thinking from this level, I mean, like from a normal person like me kind of a person level, so definitely we cannot understand to that level of structure. So truly said, as every as from DST, initially the science and technology too, we have various departments and ministries. Even Ministry of Skill and Development have come, Ministry of Power have come. So different ministries also bifurcated. That's easy for administration and easy for solving the problems as such, I
and
understand.
and I,
So
I also thanks to this government who amalgamated many PSU, many autonomous institution, or trying to amalgamate many department into one, keeping all these points of difficulties. But still, there is a lot of resistance and there is a lot of pressure group working. So
true.
government is still facing a lot of problem. But yes, this government has vision to amalgamate such types of things.
And good thing is that what I've seen in the last 6 years, before, see, from 6 years, every government body is structured and came into a website, a very good
Yes.
looking website. And with all the details are already been there, but only slight an issue like, this is the one you have come forward and giving a orientation to everybody. But like this kind of a thing, do you take up in your, I mean, like as your department or in your case, do you take up these kind of sessions, go forward to the academicians and go forward to the industry clusters and give the presentation kind of a thing? Because now I got to know as I'm listening to this webinar, and I got to know, but as an individual, what is the procedure? Do you take up these kind of sessions?
Yeah, it's time to time such types of exhibitions is being conducted. As I have told you that there is 13 TOCIC center, 12 CRTDS center. Oftenly in every year we used to visit these centers where we organize various types of conference and exhibitions, industry innovator exhibitions where both people interact on either way. their demand and their requirement were understand. At the same time, the difficulty of innovator were realized, and based on that, we used to facilitate by changing in the policy. However, as you said, that you know, through going through the website, it seems like this and that. To receive government money is always a challenge. Like either in the way of in childhood, we used to receive a scholarship for education. That is also some criteria, some documentation. So we people must follow that statutory requirement, and which is, if we understand that what are the statutory requirement, it is very easy for them. But if we do round and round type of activity, then to receive grant from the government is very tough.
Good. So, guys, I think all the participants can unmute and ask the questions. You can unmute and ask the questions. Now, we have quite a good participants here. Some are academicians, some direct PhD
Yeah,
holders. And
for academicians, I wish to say that if they are engaged in some institutions or some government institution or private institutions, they, I wish to say that them that either they get it in connect with the TUSS center or CRTDS center. Time to time, we used to evaluate the grant which were given to the innovator, and by the help of subject expert. And as a part of subject expert, the TUIC center sometimes recommend few names, sometimes B people recommend names. If the academicians who are they in this presentation listening to me, I request them to establish a good relation with this TUIC center. Their name and phone number and email ID are available on the website. It will benefit them also, either a little monetary benefit. Apart from their career profile will be upgraded. That will help them to get better exposure. And if
that
there is
means
any question, please.
TOCIC centers are the best ones to approach, right? What I understand.
Yeah, actually, suppose a people sitting in the Kerala, and
Mhm.
they wish to get some clarification or some assistance from B people. It is not easy for them to come to me. So such types of issue arises. That's why department wish to have some outlet center in the pan India, and that outlet center is being named as TOSCIC. And these centers are dedicated people are working. They are expert in their field, and they are mostly they are in own universities or laboratories, and people are dedicatedly working for this TOIC center. They
Okay.
assist people, innovator, how to write proposal, whether they, how to improve their proposal, what type of concept should be added. So initial screening is being done by TOIC center.
Okay. Good.
And
Yes.
also regulation type of activity. Suppose I give you fund for development of your model, then regulatory work is being also done by these local TOC center.
TOCIC. Super. That's a good concept. So, any Manish, any?
I think Manish is raising
Yes, sir.
hands.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I am an employee in private sector. I am personally working on ventilator development.
Yes.
The concepts I am arriving at, sometimes practically I get fail, sometimes partial success are coming. But I need
Yes.
fund to realize this project. So how can I get help from government?
Look, you said that you are in a process of developing ventilator, and sometime you got success, sometime you are not able to receive the success. As I have told you, there is two CRTDS center, that is common research center. It is one is in Hyderabad, CCMB Hyderabad. Another one is IHBT Palampur, and these centers are expert in these segments. So if you wish to receive any type of capital infrastructure support, you may approach these centers. I don't know from where you are talking. If you are in Hyderabad, then I think CCMB is better to assist you. However, if you are in the in the development of your model, and you wish to get financial assistance as well as expertise assistance, then I think you should approach through the prism scheme of the department. And I don't, again I will say, I don't know from. May I know from where you are located?
I am from Madhya Pradesh, Indore.
Okay, you are from Madhya Pradesh. Then I think in Madhya Pradesh there is one also TUICA center that is coming. I think either you wish to apply from IIT Kanpur, or there is one from IIT from Bombay center. You may route your application from that center, and based on that, if some your concept has some lacuna or some drawback, the expert sitting there, they will assist you that you please improve like this way and like that way, and then you will submit your proposal. The proposal, if accepted, you will receive a fund as well as the guidance, also expert guidance on the executions of your concept into the model. During that time you will receive assistance, expertise assistance also. And without getting these assistance, if you wish to develop, then there is now IIT Kanpur and IIT Delhi both have developed ventilator. BHEL2 developed, BEL developed. So if it is possible from you, you may approach them to get your assistance on these segments. I hope I satisfy you.
Yeah, thank you.
So good. Any questions? There is one Yogender. You are there? Yeah, Mr. Yogender is here. He's just an year back passed out engineer, but his name in every week it comes on the newspaper. He's
Yes,
a
yes.
guy supports the research in farming segment. So
Okay.
he's near in Andhra Pradesh. He's from Andhra Pradesh. Yogender, do you have anything to say?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm the past student of HAW, sir.
Okay.
I saw a lot of problems which are facing by the farmers. I developed some of the projects for the farmers, sir.
Okay.
Like poultry manure scraper,
Okay.
grass cutter, solar sprayer,
Yeah.
like this, sir.
Yes, yes.
But lack of by the lack of the investment, I stopped that designing, sir.
So scaling up the
Okay.
business is a concern. I mean,
Okay, I
Yogender.
think commercialization of their prototype is the main concern, and some of their idea are still in on the way to get it converted into the model. Okay,
Correct.
then look, gentlemen, as I have told you, under the scheme of Prism, there is so many self-help group or farmer got benefited. Yeah, it is from mostly from the Kerala or the West Bengal or from the Northeast region. They are getting their benefit, and they have converted their model into the prototype to entrepreneurship also. So as you have well narrated that you have developed a good model for like solar irrigation or whatsoever. If you your model and you wish to commercialize, you please contact NRDC. NRDC is basically transferring of technology into the entrepreneurs, or commercialization of the concepts or idea. If you wish some improvement in your model, then I request you, please you apply under the TOCIC Prisma scheme and TOCIC center, that is Tirupati and in Hyderabad itself. And
Guntur, I think is near to Yogender.
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, that center is highly active in agri segments. So if you route your application from that center, then you will get also some funding, and in the meantime you will receive a good correlation and personal relation with that expert of that center, and later on that people itself invite assist you that to interact with that industry people and that industry people, and hence a networking will develop, and that will help you to commercialize the center. But some prototype is available with you and you wish to commercialize it, NRDC is dedicated for this work. You please write NRDC, or if you not have ability to approach NRDC, then you please write down one name. It is Sarkar, BN Sarkar, from DSIR department. If you find out, you will find one of the name there, that BN Sarkar, scientist G. He is taking care of NRDC or CEL autonomous. One is the PSU. and another one is both is PSU here, and even CDC is the autonomous. Dr. B.M. Sarkar, scientist G, taking care of these types of scheme. If you mail him or if you write him also, he will further route your submission to the NRDC for taking care. Okay, I think I suffice you.
My family background is agriculture, sir.
Sir, you need not to worry. A lot of agriculture people are there. I even daily wages worker, those who are working in the kiln, got benefited under these schemes, and they develop they patented this model, and then it was commercialized. People are sitting there who advise properly you, and then it will be rooted in commercialization level. You need not to be worried. Yeah, a little bit initial pain you have to take, and a little bit initial expenditure also have to bond, because the travel cost, of course, you have to bear. Okay, but I think NRDC one outlet center is also available in Hyderabad. If is it possible, you may check out from the website and approach that people also.
Where in Hyderabad?
It is in I think it is in Cyber City.
Cyber City. Oh, okay. Okay. Good participants. Any doubts? We're already by 11:30. So
actually about detail of these schemes, you have to download the detailed guidelines available on the website, and go through that. And if there is any difficulty, then you please approach me. I will also assist you that here this should be like this types of should be proposal, or some statutory requirements. Misunderstanding of that wording is also important in government. So I will clarify all doubts. By help of Sridhar, you may approach me also.
yeah, I'll share. So good, Purushottam. I think it's a wonderful session. I wonder one thing actually. Last year, I think probably I've seen one small organization in Delhi and Mumbai. So they actually have some space of around 3,000, 4,000 square feet area, wherein the person can walk in there, do some kind of a DIY stuff, like do it yourself, some kind of a research, not to the research level, but at least to the smaller level of research. People can work for a day and they can do something. They can frame a cycle, they can frame a, there will be welding kits, there will be some cutters, there will be drilling machines, etc. It's called Maker's Asylum. The name is Maker's Asylum. And one day they charge somewhere in 200, 300 rupees. You can utilize all the kits available there. You can make something and go out. It looks very simple. Simple idea, but really it is actually taking out the innovation ideology into outside the market. And rightly you have pointed out, there are some clusters actually setting up some kind of a setup wherein people can work in at a nominal amount, right? You said some
The
pocket money.
CRTDH is like that.
So, but I am not found. I mean, is it there in Hyderabad or somewhere?
In Hyderabad, it is related to health segment. So
Okay.
you may not get, as I have told you, like electronics, it is in Pilani, like environment related, Lucknow, like mechanical equipment related, it's in CMARI Durgapur. So based on the cluster we are developing. Apart from that also, that is whatever you are telling, we used to term them as incubator. And the renowned institutions like IIT Chennai, IIT Kanpur, IIT Bombay, IIT, all these centers, we facilitate them to develop a world-class laboratory, and to facilitate these laboratory to the recognized innovators. The innovator used to come, do their work, and in the similar fashion, as you said, that their very minimum fee, 200, 300 like type of payment they used to do, and they develop their model. And also their model is being demonstrated time to time within the IIT premises and outside the IIT premises also, based on the various exhibitions. And if it is really appreciable, the IIT professor itself come forward and say that why not you patent and you do commercialize of this business. The people say that I don't know how to do this, then they proper guide also. So the culture is being developed, but it is in a steady state. because our the nation requirement is not still not primary requirement is innovation. Still we are working for the food, house, and water. So our primary focus is still not R&D. That's why that type of culture is being not developed. You have heard in past there is SEZ. SEZ concept is also for that, to bring all businessmen or the developer at a certain place, so that it is also based on the area wise. Electronics, for electronics, this area is classified as SEZ. For manufacturing, this area is classified as SEZ. So government is doing, and accordingly our nation is also translating slowly. But yeah, in future we will see the mega changes.
Correct. I also have happened to see some SEZs, and in Telangana we call TSIIC, and in AP we call APIS, Industrial Infrastructure Corporation.
Yes,
they
yes,
build
yes.
these all SEZs, and there are some tax benefits, excise benefits, and all. And there is space also. I've seen like 5 rupees per 10 rupees per square feet. Like this, we get ready-made industry setup ambience, and with all electricity supply and all. So that's a good thing. I mean, the things are available. Only we need to go
Actually, government is trying to do something, and government when develop some prototype or some good concepts, these concepts or these things were not marketed up to that scale, so that maximum people can approach there. It is all up to limited up to either renowned academicians, renowned researcher, and their known people are there. So for common people, still it is a challenge. But yes, government has made a lot of things and open for all, like agri farming, agri market. It is open for all. But how many farmers are going there for marketing their food crops? Very minimal. So such types of things are going on. So this is our, I can say, this is our cultural evidence. That's why we are not prone to this type of environment.
So good, nice, Purushottam. It's a wonderful thing. I learned a lot, and our team everybody have learned a lot. And with this knowledge, I think probably whoever into research and innovations can do something better, and there would be a big change in the society in the coming days.
Of course. I hope so. And I request you one thing. Yesterday, one people called me from Hyderabad, I think from Hyderabad or somewhere else. He said that he came from abroad, and he developed some model in the solar segment and wished to commercialize their product, but he is not getting help. I just asked him, please wait for a day. I think I was expecting some query from him, but still I did not get. If he contact you, please ask him to get connected if their problem has been not resolved. I will let him know further also. Okay, apart from NRDC, as I told, in DST there is NIDI or TV for the commercialization of this type of concepts. Okay,
surely I will. Thank you, Purushottam. Thank you, participants. Thanks for your time, and it's a wonderful session.
Thank you for providing me such a platform to share a lot about the department. Thank you, Sridhar, and thank you the participants to making this program grand successful. Thank you.
Thank you.